Hello, Nathan Gosnell, the Rockstar Farmer here, and I thought I would do something really ridiculous for this video. I'm going to serve myself, who is also my guest, a 12-course meal. So you're going to see me as the chef, which I am right now. I couldn't find my apron, but you're going to see me as the chef, and you're going to see me as the guest. This is a 12-course meal. Think last dinner on the Titanic kind of meal. That's basically what we got going on here. I've got the place setting, which I will show now. I've got all the right utensils lined out. I think I've got it right. I could be wrong. It is now cocktail hour, and so for the next hour or so, my guests will be arriving, which is me. I'm gonna have a little bubbly during this first hour, and there's usually some sort of a cocktail food. In this case, it's going to be shrimp cocktail with homemade cocktail sauce. Hello and welcome, Mr. Gosnell. Welcome. How about we start you off tonight with a nice Burlwood Cellars California Brut Rosé sparkling wine. Oh, yes, sir. Hope you're doing well this fine evening, sir. I also have a lovely shrimp cocktail. The finest shrimp cocktail for your enjoyment, sir. Well, thank you very much, waiter. I really appreciate it. It's good to be here. I'm looking forward to a nice evening of discourse with myself. Cheers. The cocktail sauce is to die for. During cocktail hour, it wouldn't be abnormal for guests to be milling about, not taking their seats yet at the table. In all reality, cocktail hour is the hour before the dinner officially starts. And so at this point, guests are mingling. They're talking about business deals. They're talking about the weather. Small talk, a lot of small talk going on. People are a little hesitant. There might even be a bar. They might be sitting, they might pull up a bar stool and hang out at a bar. And instead of individual people getting individual food, you might have finger food out and around the bar area. But technically, cocktail hour is considered the first course of a 12-course dinner. I've just been served my second course of the meal, which is a prosciutto tray, basically. It's a, you've got prosciutto, salami, pepperoni, wrapped mozzarella, and we've got some green onions here wrapped in prosciutto. Very simple, not too much to it. There's probably more here than I should actually eat. I actually got those to stand up, which is actually pretty cool. It makes it look kind of fancy. I should not speak with my mouth full, but this a sort of finger food style appetizer. This is called a amuse bouche or something like that. I can't pronounce it, but it's typical for a second course when you're doing a 12-course meal. And with this, you're still probably going to be sipping on the bubbly that you started out with. It might be your third or fourth glass or whatever, but you're typically not going to change drinks yet. You might have tea, green tea, black tea with this course, but for the most part, you're going to drink whatever you were drinking during cocktail hour, I think. None of this information is verified, so basically don't believe a word I'm saying. From here on out, the courses are going to be Typically, you don't want them to be longer than 30 minutes apart. You want to watch your guests and see how fast they're consuming the food and just kind of go from there. But 30 minutes is a good mark. It allows people to sit back and have good conversation over the food. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, we will now be serving you the soup course. Today's soup is a tomato and sweet basil with some nice buttery croutons garnished with green onions. Scallions is the more proper way to say it. Could I interest you in Waking Owl's finest Merlot? I thought as much. This will be a good pairing for this wonderful tomato basil soup. Alright, I've just been served a wonderful tomato basil soup. You would typically serve it in a smaller bowl than this. I just don't happen to have a bowl that's smaller than this. But as you can see, the bowl is not even halfway full. You would typically want a very small cup in this case. We're talking about a 12-course meal, and I'm already worried. I'll just put it that way. So this is not for the faint of heart by any means. But you want a soup. This is about as hearty as you want to get with your soup. You want a soup that's fairly light, because the last thing you want is to fill somebody up with some creamy potato soup or something like that. As you can see, now, this is the first course where we're using our utensils. The utensils are arranged in such a manner that you work from the outside to the inside, and your dessert utensils go across the top. So, this is our soup spoon. I don't have an actual soup spoon, but this is the spoon I'm using for my soup, so I will start with it. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, I now have your next course, which is mussels in a garlic tomato sauce. Could I interest you in sangria? Goes wonderfully with those mussels. I thought so. Do enjoy, and let me know if you need anything. Thank you very much, sir. Boy, these mussels look absolutely delicious. This tomato cream sauce. Oh, garnished with these scallions. It's just wonderful. And a good sangria to go with it. This is actually the appetizer portion of the meal. Now, my courses that I'm doing tonight are much, much larger than what you would probably typically see. And I just can't help that. For one, I like to eat, and it just looks good the way I've got it on the plate. And I forgot to take a picture of the last couple courses, but I'll make sure from here on out to get a good picture of each plate before I begin. This is just living. It's just living. Oh, this is so good. And I am not practicing proper etiquette. If I were in a situation where I did attend a meal like this, I would still have to do more studying up on proper etiquette and everything, because I definitely wouldn't want to embarrass myself. This is incredible, though. Imagine the camaraderie. I mean, we're now, we're over 2 hours in. We're over 2 hours into this meal, and we're still on the appetizer. You know? So, imagine how people made friends back in the day. Imagine the deep conversations that were held. You know, events like, always the first one that comes to mind is the meals on the Titanic in first class. That's just an example. Just imagine, if you will, take yourself back, and I mean, this is still being done around the world to this day. But in places like France, where dinner time it's more than just eating. Here in America, if you go out to a restaurant, it might take an hour, and you're out. If that, 45 minutes, whatever. This is a totally different, this is an experience. This is totally an experience. Just because we're middle class or even poor, it doesn't mean that we can't have events like this. Just nobody does it. Nobody thinks of it. But, just imagine the conversations that are held over the course of 6-7 hours. Again, I hate to keep using the Titanic as an example, but cocktail hour would start about 5 o'clock, and most of the people didn't probably leave the dining room until midnight. Just to put that into perspective. This is cool. It is now time for the salad course. Might I recommend a nice white Zinfandel to go with the delicacy of the salad? It pairs good with salads, spicy Asian and Latin cuisine. Winking Owl's finest, of course. Thank you very much, sir. And might I add, you've been an extraordinary server tonight. I appreciate your service. Handsome guy, too, if I don't say so myself. Alright, so what we have here for this course, this is the salad course. And what we have is garden fresh salad that I grew myself. Literally just, well, I didn't, but the guy that prepared it did. Fine looking gentleman himself. Went out and picked this salad. And he also made a homemade raspberry vinaigrette. And it's crumbled with blue cheese and topped with almonds. A good white Zinfandel is a nice light pairing for a salad. It works perfect. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, it is time for your seafood course. Tonight, we have a wonderful brined, smoked salmon, glazed with a maple bourbon reduction glaze. Enjoy. Also, might I recommend a Pinot Grigio pairing for this? Mr. Rockstar Farmer, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying our services and enjoying the meal. And thank you, I'm very flattered. I am a handsome man. Might I add, you're a pretty handsome guy yourself. Thank you, sir. You are too kind. Way too kind. Look at this masterpiece. This is absolutely beautiful. A nice piece of bourbon glazed salmon, garnished with scallions. Okay, so everything's been garnished with scallions tonight because that's like the only garnish that they apparently have in this kitchen. But I might add something here while we're talking. This video is not really about the food. It's about how a 12-course meal actually works. The food that that guy, handsome devil, has prepared is very easy for anybody to prepare. It's nothing too complicated. But it's still fancy to some extent, and he has done a good job of dressing it up and trying to make it look fancy. And but it's about the presentation. And one of the things that I wanted to tell you about that I haven't got a chance to say anything about is, you'll notice that everything that's been served to me has been served on top of this plate. They bring it in and set it on this plate. There's a reason for that. This plate is called a charger. This plate stays on the table throughout the whole meal. Sometimes it's a silver platter. Sometimes it's different things. And its job is to hold the plates that actually carry your courses. And it actually stays on the table throughout the meal. So, without further ado, I'm going to dig into this nice looking piece of salmon. Mr. Gosnell, it is my pleasure to deliver the first main course of tonight's meal. Lamb chops, medium rare, with a red wine reduction sauce. Enjoy. Also, might I suggest Winking Owl's Finest Shiraz? It goes great with Asian cuisine and grilled meats. Enjoy. Thank you very much, sir. I'm very excited about tonight's main course. Lamb chops. Oh man, do they look good. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, this is the ice cold glass of water that you ordered. And we've also got your next course, which is course number 8. This is your palate cleanser. This is an orange sorbet. This will cleanse your palate for the next main course. Enjoy. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, it is time for your second and best, in my opinion, main course. Here we have filet chuck wrapped in bacon. We have scalloped potatoes, blue cheese, and a little green onion garnish. Enjoy! Oh, I almost forgot. How would you like to try the Cabernet Sauvignon with this deep, rich meal? The palate cleanse was really nice. I was really looking forward to that, to be right honest with you. I was getting pretty full, and just just the frozen sorbet, you know, and the ice cold water, having a break from the wine, a little bit of a break from the alcohol. The timing of it was perfect. You're almost getting fatigued by that point in the meal. And then when you have that, you're kind of recharge your batteries and you're back on board. Because it's an hour. I mean, you figure it's a half hour after your last course. So you have a palate cleanser. Then it's another half hour before you're served anything. So you've basically had an hour to digest the heavy stuff, and you can get back on track. No wonder there was some big fat guys back then. I'm fat now. I can't even imagine eating like this on a daily basis. I'm sure these meals happen more on the weekends, probably more on more special occasions. But what an incredible experience it's been just by myself, let alone how fun this would be with a big group of people. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, I have your cheese tray. You'll find an assortment of marinated mozzarellas, along with a mango cheddar, and an assortment of crackers there. Let me get you some more water. And how about a nice sweet Moscato to go with this cheese tray? So this is just your basic cheese tray. Not doing anything too crazy here. It's just that after the second main course, it's customary in a 12-course meal like this to have a cheese and cracker assortment. Usually paired with a sweeter, more dessert-style wine. A Moscato is perfect because it's light. It goes well with the cheeses. Alright, sir. Here is a cup, nice hot cup of hazelnut coffee, cream and sugar. And tonight's dessert is creme brulee. Enjoy, sir. Oh my, this looks amazing. This is a lot for me to take Definitely will be doing smaller portions next time. This hazelnut coffee is just such a treat. And most people don't think about kind of wrapping up their meal or ending their meal with coffee. But it's really a thing. And it just hits the spot. And I'm excited to dig into this creme brulee. All right, sir. This is your 12th and final course of the evening. This is an assortment of chocolates and caramels and truffles. Enjoy. Oh, might I interest you in a sweet red dessert wine? Alright, I've got an assortment of chocolates here. This is probably something you would see for your final course. Mr. Rockstar Farmer, here is a nice whiskey on the rocks for a digestive for you to enjoy with your pipe. Thank you so much for everything this evening. It's my pleasure to serve you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Mr. Rockstar Farmer. Oh, let me tell you, that was a heck of a meal. I did learn a lot. Tonight. One of the things that I learned is that that was way too much food, so cut down the portion sizes and think light in terms of how heavy. I mean, having the lamb chops and, you know, bacon wrapped fillets was a bit much, and it definitely filled me up a little quick. So something to learn there, but this was a very fun, relaxing experience, and I'm glad I did it. And so overall, I'm gonna have to figure this up. There's 12 courses. You know, if you give each course a half hour, it takes about six hours. The first course you actually give an hour, so I'm going to say it takes a good 6.5 hours. It took me longer because I actually did pause a couple times and take a couple breaks. For one, I was full. You know, I had to wait until I was hungry again to continue on. But anyway, this was very, very, very fun, and I'm excited to actually cook for somebody, an actual person. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm the Rockstar Farmer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.